sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Hit that like button on your way in the building. Your boy tired. Listen, boy, man, that sun is next level. Because I get out there early. So I usually have members tickets. This year I don't have members tickets, but I get some members tickets from some friends and family and stuff that rock with me. And I usually have them, but today I didn't. But I got there early. I was like kind of in the front of the line in the regular entrance, but probably had to stand there for about 45 minutes to an hour. I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. And that sun was beating down. Got in my seat, got at the top. And it felt like the sun was beating down, even though we were covered. It was just hot. I don't know what it is. I just felt uncomfortable and sticky today. I don't know, man. Just keeping it a buck with y'all. It was just hot. Just felt humid, like roasting in an oven. And then as soon as practice was over, my eyes were burning. And I realized I miss going live in audio where I can look around and have my phone and just talk, because now I'm doing this in the stands for 2 hours straight. I'm doing this each play. Tua back to pass. Oh, it would have been a sag, incomplete. Tua, play action, back to pass, incomplete. Would have been a sack. By the time I get to the next line and I look up, Tua, and I'm the whole time I'm back to back to back to back. And when practice was over, I got in the car, I cranked it up, and I looked up, and I was just like, my eyes are burning. I'm tired, like staring at the screen. Yeah, well, I'm getting hydrated. And I'm just like, man, I don't want to do these tweets no more. And then I remember people rely on these tweets. Then I get strength. Then I say, hey, when you get home, you ain't going live tonight. You going live right away because people need it. This is what you do. This is what you're here for. This is why they support you. So I'm here, y'all. All right. Now, enough about me feeling bad for little old me. Let's get into training camp today. Now, excuse me if I ain't got the best of energy, but I'm gonna give you a little something. All right. Let me go to my Twitter thread. So let me give you my conclusion before I get started. Camp today. I had a difficult time driving home trying to testing. Did I cut my mic out? Audio testing. Oh, I'm on MacBook audio. Oh, what did I do? Did I knock my whole mic out? Testing. All right, testing. Are we back? Are we back now? Are we back now? All right, good. We working. All right, my bad, y'all. I must have hit something, man. My bad. So I had a difficult time driving home trying to, because I was sitting there on my way home. I'm like, how was practice today? And I'm like, it was better than yesterday, right? And I'm like, yeah, but was it? But yeah, it was. And I can't get through the consistency of camp because the fumble snaps keep bothering me. The fumble snaps today, there were like 4 fumble snaps, dead plays today. And it was a better, I won't even want to say much better, but it was considerably better. I guess what I'm trying to say is today didn't impress me, but it wasn't, the O-line wasn't as bad as yesterday when they didn't have pads on, but they still weren't good, but they were better. It's hard for me. It's like the weirdest thing. I'm trying to like give a definitive quantification of how today was. And I guess I'll just have to break it down in a whole bunch of details and maybe have a conclusion at the end of how it was today. So I want to go to try something different before I go through the plays and go through these. Let's go through the tweets because that'll help me remember everything on the timeline. By the way, I think I did a much better job today in descriptive tweets, like painting the picture of what was happening today. And I guess I'm getting better and better at that. But I feel like I did a better job today, somewhat painting that picture. So y'all give me a second. I'm gonna put some things on screen for y'all. And we'll go from there. All right. I'm gonna put my Twitter feed up. And that should be good for us. All right, here we go. All right. Thanks for y'all patience. Patience. All right. Profile. tdphinstalk. Okay, let me share screen. Let's go Twitter, share. Let me give a better view than this. I want to make me small. So let's go this way. Is that a good view for you all? Do you see it just fine? Just want to make sure y'all good. All right. Okay. So we're going to start out at the beginning. I did a good job giving a timeline of practice today, okay? All right, so this was the beginning of practice today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, pads come on today. It feels hotter than yesterday. The sun came to play today. We in here. Live play-by-play updates on Twitter feed, every QB throw, updates estimated to begin around 11:15 after all the boring warm-ups and stuff, unfiltered and contextual details. Let's go. All right. So here was the team pretty much warming up, running out of the tunnel. This was them running out. This was the beginning of practice. All right. They were running out of the inside practice field. Okay. Then I zoomed into the offensive line. That's the offensive line out there stretching, because I captioned this post of the O-line and said the pads are on, and the most important element of today's practice is to make sure these guys, the O-line, play at least average today. If they have a poor day, then I'm sorry, people. It's a major issue. Day 3 of training camp is here. Let's go Dolphins. All right. Y'all punch that like button on your way in the building. Injury update. I don't see Cam Smith, in which he did not practice today. We don't know where he is. Tyreek looked like he's practicing today, in which he did, but I felt like he was on a limited basis. You know, you saw him here and there. Kendall Fuller, not in pads. I saw Fuller on the side with the corners, but he wasn't in pads, so he didn't practice. Interesting there. Practice context update. Cornerback Fuller, no pads on. Cornerback Cam Smith missing. Tyreek practicing with pads. Conclusion, it might be a long day in the secondary unless Neal or another guy can step up or QBs blow it. All right. New kickoff looks like mayhem. I want to show y'all, this is the new kickoff lineup. The new kickoff lineup. All right, which was very interesting. And then this is seconds into it. It looks like mayhem. It looks like mayhem. I mean, this is the new kickoff thing, and it looks crazy. A lot of mayhem going on. So we'll see how that turns out in the first preseason game. Phillips watching on as Ogba gets ready. All right, Jalen Phillips out there watching the squad. Was pretty dope as well. All right. Jalen Ramsey all by himself, realizing it's all on him today. Can Bonner or Neal or someone step up today? That was Jalen Ramsey. He's always, let me say this too, Jalen Ramsey always by himself, by the way. When the corners are off doing this, he's over by himself. When the corners are warming up, he's doing his own thing. And like, he is literally a loner. Real talk, y'all. He always a loner. I've noticed that yesterday too. He's like 10 feet to 20 feet away from the rest of the guys, always doing his own thing. So yeah, just saying. All right. With the exception of Ogba, our edge rushers seem a bit undersized. Kamara looked jacked here, but their height, y'all, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like they're undersized. I'm just saying, I'm letting y'all know how I feel when I see them out there. Because I saw Murphy and all these guys, they were really our edge rushers today. Like, you saw a lot of these guys going up against the tackles today, and they just seem so under small versus the tackles. It was just interesting. All right. Zach Zeiler wears orange jersey. His playlist is interesting. And right at this very moment, we were jamming on some Eminem. All right. Just notice no Calais Campbell. I also don't see Jonnu, but I'll keep searching. I didn't see either of those guys today. They didn't even practice. All right. Let the games begin. Here we go. So this is what practice looks like. Y'all see the yardage? I'm at the 50-yard line, right? So I got a good vantage point to see everything happening on over here. I'm literally in the middle of the bleachers at the 50-yard line looking to my right. All of the riders are literally on the far opposite side. Like the furthest away from this in the bleachers, that's where they are. Just FYI. This is why I say it's hard for them to see like the yardage and stuff. You see how the ball is on the 20-yard line? And this is open field practice right here where they got to go from the 20 and do plays towards the midfield and open field. This isn't red zone like it looks. This is headed the other way, like when you kick off and let's start at the 20-yard line. So it's interesting. Say the ball gets to the 25. They be saying, oh, nice 10 yards. No, they're looking way back in the backfield where the ball is thrown from and calculating yards, thinking that it's 10, but it's just 5. When they run it to the 22, they be like, nice 5-yard gain. No, it's a 2-yard run because the handoff was at the 15. So just FYI, okay? Just the FYI. Let's see here. All right, here we go. The first thread of camp. All right. 11 on 11, full field. All right. This is where I guess I'll give you a little more of me and we'll minimize the thread. All right. 11 on 11, full field. First play of the day. Tua with time to throw. They gave him a pocket. I was shocked. He throws a dart over the middle complete. He threw it behind the receiver but I wrote down that he did it on purpose because to avoid the linebacker. I was like, oh, that's a terrible ball placement. Then I was like, oh, the linebacker was there. Maybe he tried to do it. So I'm the type of guy, I try to give you the benefit of the doubt most of the time in camp. I honestly think it was a nice throw that he intentionally threw it behind to avoid the linebacker. So I started out and I said, nice. Okay. Next play, Tua toss to the left, 1-yard gain by Mostert. The run game is hit and miss, y'all. Next play, Tua hands off to Brooks, 5-yard gain up the middle. Next play, Skyler comes in and fumbles the snap. Play dead. It was just a disaster. I ain't know who to blame. At first, I was blaming Skyler until everybody was having these issues. So that's the first fumble snap. Next play, Skyler, amazing pass over the middle. Crowd goes wild until Forrester dropped it. Missed on a 24-5-yard gain. This is what weird about practice. I don't know who did good and who did bad because they it's like they all had some good stuff, but they all had some trash stuff too. But this was amazing pass by Skyler. The reason why it was amazing it was like 4 or 5 defenders like crowding this receiver, and the ball went right through, right on the money. And he just caught it and dropped it. Like the crowd was like, oh. I was like, you just screw one of Skylar's nice plays. All right. But at first they were cheering, then they realized it was dropped. Next play, Skylar, play action. 4 defenders chasing him. Yes, Skylar faked the handoff, turned around. 4 guys was coming at them. I was like, where's the O-line? But he ran. He was running as hard as he could. They were chasing him. It was like they was catching him, but he ran out of there and got it off in time before somebody could come and get him. So good job escaping that by Skylar. All right. He outruns the pursuit and finds Tyreek for 10. He hit Tyreek. Tyreek made some moves and got about 10 yards on the play. But the defense was bearing down like that. Okay, so that's one O-line mark, right? That's one mark for the O-line. All right. Next play, Mike White comes in. Play action, time to throw. He had time to throw. So when I put time to throw, that's what that means. He had time to throw. He checked down and missed the wide open tight end. Let me tell you something. Mike White hikes the ball. He's looking over the middle. They're in zone. Right when the tight end clears the zone and nobody's on his right side and the tight end is gone, he comes off the read and just dumps it down blindly. And I'm like, you literally just missed the tight end wide open. I think he ran out of patience. So yeah, I just think that was a bad read by Mike White. You're looking at the middle, you're looking, and right when I thought he saw the tight end clearing, he just checks down. Like wide open, y'all. Y'all don't understand. If he would have found the tight end, he might have got like a 15-yard gain. Okay. Next play. Mike White handoff immediately blown up. Couldn't see left tackle that got destroyed. One of the left tackles got beat bad. Mike White got back there in the backfield and just bam. I mean, not Mike White, but the defender got back there and blew it up. That was twice the O-line had a trash moment. So we're going to add them up, okay? All right. Next play, Mike White tossed to the right. Jalen Wright, -1 yard. Run game inconsistent. Tua comes back in, hands it up the middle to A-Chain, 4 yards. Tua, another handoff to A-Chain up the middle for no gain. Zach Zeeler, right up the middle. That's 3 times the O-line just let somebody beat him to disrupt the play. I'm not counting like the -1s and stuff, even though those are bad by the O-line. I'm just counting the definitive beats like O-line was bad. Because that -1, sometimes they send blitzes and things like that, all right? So, but that's 3 O-line miscues in the first session. Next time, Tua with time to throw, misses Tyreek over the middle, takes deep shot, and receiver wasn't near the ball. 3 defenders almost picked off. Yeah, I didn't like this one from Tua. I remember this. He hiked the ball. I'm always looking for that crosser first. He had Tyreek coming across the middle by 17 to 20 yards in the middle of the field coming across, wide open. But he just heaved it deep. And when he heaved it deep, the receiver wasn't like, I see where he was going, which receiver he was going to, but where he threw the ball, the receiver was like maybe 8 yards away from it. And the DBs saw where the ball was going, and they weren't following the receiver. They were trying to go get the ball, but they probably like 2 yards away from getting it. And it was like, what was that? It was just a bad decision and throw by Tua. So that's that. Next up, Skylar comes in the game, and right away, Skylar, it would have been a sack. I didn't even write no more because whatever happens. So let me tell y'all something. Somebody said this to me. TD, why didn't you report this? Because they said something about Tua escapes this and hits blah, blah, blah on the run. If it's a sack, I stop. Skylar would be sacked. On that play, he did something after and made a play for like 15 yards. I'm not putting that. He got sacked. Sometimes I'll put it when it's close, if you got sacked or not. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Then I'll put what happened after it. You know, those close plays where the defender put their hand up, but you're throwing at the same time. And technically you will be getting blasted as you throw, which could be a disaster, but that's how that is. So, and trust me, I actually have somebody who's been on this channel for a long time that's been to camp with me right next to me. And what happened, we kind of consult and we're like, that would have been sacked. Yeah, I agree. Like we consult about this stuff before I like type it. And the crazy thing is he's checking at the same time. Man, all the beat writers are saying that it was this, not putting the context, you know? And we double check with the beat writers just in case we can't see the number and hurry up and identify which player it was, because they'll name it, so we'll put it on. So just so you know, it's crazy that some plays that they report, it's never a play, it's a sack. Wow, they got that as a 30-yard catch. That was the sack, you know? So I'm telling you what will happen in practice. This is why I tell you it'll be unfiltered. So first play for Skyler, immediate sack. 5 times that the D-line got blown up in the first session. Next play, Skyler, another bad snap. Low to the ground, disaster. Center tripping. That's when I knew something was wrong with the center. Because that had to be the center, because when it was snapped to the ground, and Skyler tried to get it. Is that the second or the third snap issue? I think the second maybe. Let me see. Because I want to keep count of that too. Play action, chasing, pass over there, fumble, snap, Skyler. Middle. Okay, so that's the second fumble snap. Both of them was with Skyler. So at first I was like, this is a Skyler and that second center issue. But trust me, it's about to start pouring on the Tua. Okay. Skyler, handoff to Wright, Jalen Wright for 3 yards. So that was the next thing that happened after that. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, let's keep it moving. Next session, here we go. 11 on 11. Ball is now at the 38-yard line, and it's not heading towards the end zone. It's on the backside of the field where you got to go about 62 yards to get a touchdown. So here we are at the 38-yard line. They only moved it up like 18 yards. So here we go. Tua, check down end zone to Tyreek for 8 yards. Tyreek runs by 8 yards, turn around since the end zone coverage. Tua strikes it, bam. Maybe he gets another yard or so, but that quick little strike play. Okay. Next play. Tua check down in the flat to Zeeler. And Zeeler is all over it. Yes, Tua hikes the ball, looking around, nowhere to go. Quick check down. Zeeler was all over it. We might have gotten 1 yard. Okay, Zeeler literally, when that pass left, and good job by the corner on that play. I couldn't tell you who it was, because when Tua checked it down, there was a receiver blocking the corner, and I forgot who the receiver was, but the corner sealed the edge to not let him get inside, which allows Zeeler to run over there and help and make the play. So it was a 1 yard gain. Next play. Tua to Waddle, middle crosser, beautiful for 20 yards. This was one of his strikes for the day. This was the first one where I was like, ooh, now that's a nice strike. That's a beautiful throw. I remember the one at the beginning where he threw the ball behind the receiver to avoid the linebacker. That was straight, but this was actually one of the big boy nice throws to Waddle. You know, so here we are in our second session, and we get our first big time throw. All right. From Tua. I think Skyler already had one, a real nice one, like triple coverage, quadruple coverage. So 20-yarder crowd gets excited a little bit about that one. Then Skyler comes in after that. Skyler would be sacked. And I say would be because they continued to play. And I ain't capturing the rest after that. First play, once again, for Skyler, would have got sacked. Here we are, the 6th issue for the O-line. 6th issue for the O-line and 2 fumble snaps. So technically 8 issues. Next play, Skyler handoff to Jeff Wilson. Nice run up the middle for about 10 yards. I like this one because it's hard to tell when guys run the ball if they get tackled, because you get guys slapping them and slapping them because they're not really trying to take people down even with pads on, just so you know. They're not tackling like that, but they are being more physical, imposing their will. And this one I like to run because you can tell, even though it's kind of like touchy without tackling, he was actually moving and working through where he would have gotten 10 yards in real life. All them hands was hitting him. It was really separation hits, like trying to hit him. And that was a nice run that I like from Jeff Wilson. And it reminded me that he was out there. I be forgetting he out there. Jeff Wilson actually been making some plays, in my opinion. Not much, but he been getting some touch. Next play, Skyler with the throw of the day. Oh, my gosh. Yes, I remember this. Skyler with the throw of the day so far, because we still early in practice, to Braxton Berrios for 20 yards in traffic over the middle. I'll never forget this. Once again, defense collapse in the middle. He takes the chance and fires a dart about 20 yards over the middle, and actually shows his arm strength with this because it was like a bullet. It wasn't all this hang time. It was a bullet. And you could just see the defenders collapse, and I'm like, oh, this is dangerous. And it literally misses everybody and goes right in Berrios' chest. And I ain't talking about he's sitting there waiting on it. This is on the run. Bam. It was the crowd went crazy. It was the throw of the day so far, because I think we had like 3 more of the day, 1 for Tua and 2 more for Skyler. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe 1 for Mike White. I don't know. We'll see. It's on here. All right. And by the way, we got 700 people watching right now, 400 and almost 50 on YouTube and almost 250 on Twitter. Y'all hit that like button, show your love and support. If you're new to this channel, subscribe now. Anybody that donates to the channel, I prefer you to hit the Cash App up. It goes a lot further. Okay. Just FYI. Let's keep it moving. All right. Next play, Mike White. Hands off to Jalen Wright. Nice run. Make some moves for 10 yards. Just like Jeff Wilson run, he was making some moves that I felt like he earned the 10. He earned the 10. Because believe it or not, y'all, there's a lot of runs in camp that are going -1, back to the line of scrimmage, stretched outside for no gain or 2 or 3 yards. It's a lot of that. So every time I get that Jeff Wilson 10 or that Wright 10, especially with pads on, it's promising. But I'm going to tell y'all, Jalen Wright is getting the bulk of the carries over everybody. Now, it may not be with the first unit and stuff, but I see 25 a lot. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's 25. I think that's what I'm seeing. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Acknowledge me if I'm right. All right. All right, let's keep it moving. Next play, Mike White sacked, but there were 12 men on the field. No one noticed, not even the coaches, just me. Okay, y'all, this was funny. But anyway, it's a sack anyway. I don't think the 12 men on the field impacted the sack. So that's 9 times the O-line screwed up. 2 of those 9s were bobble snaps. Let me tell y'all what happened. There's something wrong on the defense, and I don't think they noticed. So there's 11 on the field, and right before they snap the ball, for some reason, the coach just slaps a player like, go in, go in, go in. And he's like, where do I go? Where do I go? And the play snaps, and he's just running out there on the field, like in coverage and like backing up like, oh, I'm out of place. And I'm like, there's 12 men on the field. Everybody around me like, you sure? Everybody counting. They're like, you're right, it's 12. The next play, they start with 10 guys on the field. And the play's going, and the coach is slapping the guy to get out there. And now there's 11, but the play is in the middle of the play. And I'm like, I don't even think, like that first one with 12 men on it, I don't even think they realized 12 men was on the field. Anyway, that's just something I noticed because we was up there talking about it. Because everybody was counting. They were like, it's 10 now. And I'm like, I'm counting. I'm like, yeah, it is only 10. And then the play, right when it started, they run somebody out and he lost. Like, where do I go? So the very next play, Mike White would have been sacked, but he was picked off. This time, 10 on the field for defense. So why are you getting sacked and getting picked off? And it was only 10 guys on the field. Now, to be fair, the 10th guy was the 11th guy that they were rushing out there was a linebacker. So the sack would have probably happened anyway, which is 10 times now that the O-line screwed up, because that was a clear as day sack. But they let it keep going, and he heaved it, and the defender cut the route and picked him off. So the 10 on the field never impacted it, nor if that was 11 would it have impacted it, because this was on the far side in a zone coverage where they just made the read. Okay? Just a bad situation by Mike, but it wouldn't have mattered. The pick wouldn't have happened because it would have been a sack, guaranteed. So here we are at 10 or 11. I'm going to go with 10 because I don't remember now. I'm counting too much. I'm going to go with the better look, 10. 10 issues on the O-line. Next play. Tua maybe evades pressure. Looks like a sack, but in case it's not, this is the one that they were calling me out online. And I did put it here. They said, TD, why didn't you report Tua looks nimble, escaping the pocket, and hits Tyreek on the run for 10? Because of this play right here. Tua maybe evades pressure. So here's what happened. Two guys bearing down on Tua. They throw their arm up like they got the sack, but he makes a move like he got out of it. We won't know unless it's real pursuit, because when these guys get close to him and they put their hand up, they don't turn towards him to make sure they get him. They just literally run past him and say, I got you. They run past them. So to me, it would have been a sack because they would have really been coming for him and would have dragged him down. Or they would have got to him and he would have been trying to throw the ball while he was being contacted. So and what did I say on here? I said Tua maybe evades the pressure, because since I didn't know, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Looks like a sack, but just in case it's not, he finds Tyreek for 10. So what they're gleaming about is, well, he took 2 steps out of that and he's nimble and fast. Stop. Like I seen maybe 3 plays in 2 days where Tua moved out the pocket to try to do something. There ain't no evidence of a sample size to show that he's this different player moving out of the pocket. Stop selling it, okay? Let it show up in the regular season. There ain't no evidence to suggest he's more mobile than he was last year whatsoever. We had mobile plays last year. Every quarterback's going to have some mobile plays. Skyler got a sack in here where he ran for 20 yards, but it would have been a sack. We'll get there. Anyway, we'll say 11 O-line issues, because since I don't know, I think we're at 11 anyway, but I think I messed up on counting, so I'm like, let me go with 10. So we'll go with 11. All right. Next play. Tua sacked, unblocked, QB blitz. Let me say, you know what? I want to say something about this play. Tua was at the line of scrimmage. He backed out. He was in the shotgun. And he saw some movement, and he kind of checked with the receivers on the right about something, maybe the movement. And the movement was where the blitz was coming from. That linebacker was coming up to the line, and he was checking with his receivers, right? He hikes the ball, and this is what was weird to me. He didn't even look that way. And that's where the blitz came, and it was a clear as day sack, play over. And I'm like, dang, that's where the blitz coming from. I think you identified it and you communicated with your receivers on the right, but when you hike the ball, you never even look right. You're supposed to have a hot right over there, a check, something to throw to right away. But you look left. Like knowing where you want to go with the ball, but then the blitz is coming. You communicate with receivers to the right. Maybe you was trying to throw the linebacker up. Like, I see you blitzing, and I mean, fake a audible so you'll back out. No, that didn't work. I don't know what to call it. I just know it's a sack. It's a sack. And nothing happened in the play. So Tua's sacked, unblocked. And he was unblocked. He came through free. It was a blitz. And he just took the sack. So, again, That's a 5-man rush. The 5th guy was blitzing. So the O-line didn't pick that up either, though. So 12. Next play, Skyler comes in, hands it off the right, -1 yard gain. Vanderbaugh with the stop. Next play, Skyler hand off the right again, -2 yards. Chop Robinson disrupted the play. He got in the backfield. I don't think he was the one who made the stop, but he disrupted it and slowed it down, and then the pursuit, -2 yards. All right, next play, Skyler picked off by Ramsey. What? This one's on Skyler, but here's why. It hit three. If it looked like it hit like 2-3 people's hand before Ramsey got the gift. But a defender tipped it first. It would have been a dime. See, he took the same risk that he took earlier in that was the play of the day. Well, it wasn't the play of the day. Later was the play of the day, his deep ball. But he took that same risk, but this time they got their hand on it. Bing, 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 right into Ramsey. Like, oh, thank you for the gift. Oh, I'm fumbling the gift. Oh, okay, I got the gift. Ramsey almost dropped it, but Ramsey ended up getting it, and he picked off Skyler. Okay. Dangerous throw, defense, active hands. I like that. They got him. Water break. So here we are. We go on water break. This is a little break. And you're thinking they're going to go back to warming up in team drills. No, they go to the new kickoff rule again. So they start practicing the kickoff thing again. Okay. After the kickoff, I noticed Jalen Wright walked off the field with a trainer. I hope all is well. Spoiler alert, all is well, because eventually I ain't see him come back out, but he was in a play all of a sudden. I was like, oh, there goes Jalen Wright. He back on the field. So he's not hurt. All right. Next session of 11-on-11 started at the 20, open field. So once again, open field, you got the whole field to go to your disposal to go. Not like you going red zone. Here we go. Tua, quick slant to Waddle, 8 yards. Quick little dagger, hike the ball, slant, bam, bam, 8 yards. Might have got a few more after the contact, just depend on how well we tackle or not in a real-time situation. Uh-oh, we got Samson Ibuku tore his ACL or something. Tears Achilles. Defensive end for the coach just tore his Achilles. See, and that's what you want to avoid, is real injuries in practice. Anyway, back to us. All right, next play, Tua hands it off to Mostert. I put Mr. 1 yard, tackle by Deshaun Hand. All right, next play, Tua fumbled the snap. Disaster play dead. Get us a center, Greer. They're going to third fumble snap in the 14th error on the O-line today. Next play, Skyler handoff to Wilson, 1 yard. Next play, Skyler under pressure, throws out of bounds. Maybe maybe it was a throwaway because it was tight coverage, but he was under pressure. He had to roll out and keep running and escaping, and he threw the ball. So 14 for the O-line. Next play, Skyler to Jeffrey Wilson across the middle for 7 yards. Decent protection that time. Next play, Mike White comes in. He's sacked right away. To be fair, Keon Smith looked like he moved early to get the sack. No call, though. So the defensive line, Keon Smith, he was offsides. You could see that he jumped, but the play just kept going, and it was a sack. So I ain't tripping on that. So I ain't adding one on that, but it's considered a sack. The play just ended, really. All right. Next play, Mike White handoff to Brooks for 2 yard gain. Next play, White with the play action deep crosser to Berrios, 25 yards. Beautiful. This was a beautiful throw. He had protection too because it took some time. But when he fired that ball, it connected with Berrios across the field like nicely, and it was like a good chunk of yard, 25. Now, one thing I want to show y'all, Mike White for 2 days in a row has been getting nothing but third team reps. They have really been giving Skyler a lot of reps, and I think they're putting him on the clock. They're basically saying, we're going to give you an opportunity with the second team. You need to show up this year. We're giving you a lot of reps with that second team. You need to show up. So if y'all don't know, the way camp runs, first team and second team is more so first team, second team, third string is really it's kind of for the O-line, the quarterback, and running backs. It doesn't work for wide receivers as much. So the first unit and the second unit, they get the disposal of all wide receivers. The third unit get the disposal of the second and third group of wide receivers. So even though Skyler is second, he's getting Waddle, he's getting Tyreek on occasions. He's getting those impact players rotating. And that third receiver, sometimes he gets some of the better players, but not as much. Just FYI. But Mike White, like he's been the third string guy, playing with the third string guys like Brooks and, you know, all the no-name receivers. You see all the Maliks and all of them, Washington and everybody with Mike White in that third unit. And the O-line unit, you could tell that too. But that can flip tomorrow because maybe yesterday no pads was Skyler Day, today pads was Skyler Day, and then tomorrow no pads might be Mike White unless they're padding up, and then a Mike White day. It just depends. More on that as we go. Let's keep moving. Tua comes back in. He tosses to the right, the A-chain for 6 yards. Tua hands it off, but Austin Jackson on the false start. Tua went up to him. And I think he was like, come on, man, tighten up. So Austin Jackson makes it number 14 or 15. Let's go with 14 with the O-line errors. All right. Let me see here. I ain't check on the chat in a while. Let me make sure y'all can hear me and y'all good. We got 765 people watching. Let me know in the chat right now. Can you hear me? And are y'all good? I just ain't seen the chat and I'm just going. Sometimes a mic cut off. I want to make sure I ain't tripping. Y'all can hear me and I'm good, right? Yes or no in the chat. All right, cool. Sorry about I'm just checking in, make sure I ain't rambling and y'all like, somebody tell him he can't hear. That happens because I don't have my dual screens with me. I'm on my laptop screen minimizing 2 different systems, my Twitter and my stream yards, and I got the stream yards in the background, so I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm going through my presentation. All right. Let's keep going. So we're at 15. We're at 15 because I already read 14 for Austin Jackson's issue. All right, next up, Tua deep to Waddle, incomplete. Tua just heaves it deep with no accuracy, and Waddle can't track it. Yeah, this was weird. Tua back to pass on a play action. He got a pocket. And he waiting, and then all of a sudden he just heaves it deep. You could tell where the Waddle was heading, but the ball wasn't heading there. It wasn't far off, but it wasn't heading where Waddle was heading. So Waddle had to track it and identify it. He couldn't track it down. He couldn't get to it. Okay, it was kind of like a turnaround behind him at the end of the day as Waddle tried to get there. It didn't end up far because Waddle tried to make up. Next play, Tua, another fumble snap. This is like the 4th of the day, which it is. Disaster, Greer. Get a center. 4th time today, y'all. Tua and Brewer got benched. And they're now working on the snaps off to the side now. They were behind the whole team working on the snaps literally like 100 times through all of Skyler's reps because Tua came back in after Skyler. So Skyler comes in while they're working on the snap. And by the way, 16 errors on the O-line. Skyler, incomplete crosser, bad throw. He overthrew it like a little 10-yard crosser coming across the middle. He threw it too far out in front, maybe by 4 whole yards. Just a bad misfire. And he could have been caught and turned up to the side for maybe another 10. So bad throw by Skyler. Next play. Skyler throw stop Pats Global. Get out of here with that. Tua wasn't fumbling. It was more of the center issue because Tua had 2 and Skyler had 2. But it was the centers. It was the centers causing it was the exchange. But don't put that on Tua, making sure Tua fumbled 4 times. That ain't what happened. Anyway, let me move on. Not get distracted. All right. Okay, Skylar with the bad throw, got that. Skylar throws the check down after great coverage. Jalen Wright drops it. Yes, I remember this. So Skylar looking through the secondary. I didn't see nobody open. Obviously, he didn't. He checks it down to Jalen Wright, and he had room to maybe go up to get 7 yards, but he just dropped it. He dropped the check down. Next play, Skylar deep to Connor, and he dropped it. Yes. To be fair, he had to slow down a little. So Skylar hiked, faked the handoff, back to throw. Connor or going deep on the right side. Skylar puts it out there deep. He beating his man by 2 yards. He got the separation. But he got to slow down a little because there's too much hang time on the ball. You could tell, like, if you're running 15 miles an hour and you drop it down to 14 because you see the ball is hanging a little bit, so you don't want to outrun it. And the DB still wasn't in a good position. And Connor slowed down enough to put it right in the basket. But he dropped it anyway. He dropped it. You cannot drop that. 45, 50-yarder down the sideline. You cannot drop that. But you know how I am. Well, Skylar should have put it out there another 5 yards because he was beating the man and he should have never had to slow down. I can say that too. Skylar got to lead that better like he did later in practice when the crowd went nuts. The real player today. All right. But yeah. Two-edged sword. Got to have a better throw out there, but the throw was good enough for the receiver to make a big play and dropped it. So Tua comes back in, and Tua back offense calls a timeout because immediately something was wrong. The Tua and the offense get to the line of scrimmage. The defense is moving to a point to the defense. The next thing you know, Berrios and Tua putting that timeout signal up, and they go back into the huddle. They walk around for like 5 seconds, like, and then they all get back in the huddle. So I don't know what happened there, but something they saw or something was called that didn't make sense with the situation. I don't know, but you see him call a timeout. And they kind of like stand for like 5 seconds, but then they go get in the huddle. So that's what it is. Don't know what to tell you about that one. All right, remember, I'm just doing every snap. Next play, Tua would be sacked. Here we are at 17. On play action, hurries and dumps it down for no gain catch. So this was a fake the handoff, turn around, would be sacked, but then throws it right after, the guy probably would have already had him. And worst case scenario, he might have got him, but he might have still got the ball off to the flat, but it was still no gain. All right, 16 for the O-line. Or 17, but I don't remember that, so 16. Tua deep to Waddle, just missed him by 1 yard. Waddle tracked it down, but couldn't get there. Underthrown barely. This is the one there I think I saw on Twitter by some other people. Tua faked the handoff, back to pass, heaved it deep. Man, Waddle blazing down the field. You're like, oh my gosh, it's about to connect because this is about to be huge. Waddle, you can see he's running hard too. And he put them hands out, and it probably was 1 yard in front of where he was. Just 1 yard off on maybe a 55-yard bomb down the right sideline. 1 yard off, y'all. Trying to get that in stride together. 1 yard off. So I put overthrown barely, okay? Next play. Tua sacked by 2 defenders. But play continues and finds a tight end for 30 over the middle. Yes. 2 guys, there were no offensive linemen around. They literally just came right in on Tua, put their hand up. Tua just kept on stepping up in the pocket anyway. And you think the play over, he throws across the middle for like 20, but nobody was around the tight end. So the tight end ran maybe another 10. So maybe like a 30-yard gain or whatever. Yeah. So pass combination. So that was number 17 for the O-line. Next up, Tua hands up the middle, A-chain 3 yards. Skyler comes in, hands up the middle to Jalen Wright for 4 yards. Skyler, another play of the day. Deep ball, 60 yards to Tyreek, double move in stride. Crowd goes crazy for the first time all day. Beautiful. They cheered maybe 2 other times in the day, but they went crazy on this one. And it was worth it because I was up there narrating and I was like, oh, you got Tyreek Hill and you got single high safety. And you see Tyreek tightening his gloves right here. And right when I said that, Skyler went under center, but then the corner was backing out. Like, yeah, I know y'all going deep. Let me tell y'all what Tyreek, man, Tyreek elite. I mean, we all know that. But let me tell y'all what Tyreek did. If the corner would have stayed up, Tyreek was going to blaze off the line, right? I watched this thing unfold, how Tyreek manipulated the heck out of the corner. So Tyreek, so the corner started backing up. At first, he was like 5 yards off. He was looking. Tyreek was tightening the gloves. He said, nah, I ain't crazy. He started backing up. He about 10 yards off. Then he about 12 yards off. And the play hiked. 12-yard separation. And he started backpedaling because he knew something was coming deep. And I knew it was going to be deep. Tyreek even fooled me. Tyreek came off the line of scrimmage jogging. Literally. I know he would have sprinted had the guy been up. But Tyreek hike, he's running like a brisk fast. Like, like it ain't his fast. He's just like in the corners, like, oh, you ain't blazing off. And Tyreek stutters, corner comes, and Tyreek gasses it. And I'm like, and I'm looking at this Tyreek battle the whole time. I'm not even looking in the pocket. I don't know if he getting sacked or not, but I know he wouldn't because I saw the throw, and he had a good pocket. And I see Tyreek gas it. And I say, oh my gosh, he got him. In the corner, in the safety is kind of flat-footed. And now he's headed Tyreek way, but he ain't gonna get there in time. And in my head, I'm like, it's only one thing left to do. Skyler, don't screw it up. I look up at Skyler, he cocked back, he pump fakes, and he turns the opposite way to Tyreek and heaves it deep. And I'm like, oh, Skyler did it right. But is it gonna connect? Man, you talking about in stride, on the money. Defenders, the corner about 5 yards behind Tyreek, and the safety about, like 3 yards off to the side, closing in. Bam, right in the bucket. And Tyreek was fast enough to get the other like 8 yards into the end zone, touchdown. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. Like, that's how your perfect play works. That's how, as a receiver, the corner is backpedaling to make sure I don't beat him deep. Let me come out of this with a brisk jog and put my foot in the dirt. And he like, oh, he ain't sprinting. Let me come get that. Put my foot and go. I mean, I was like, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I said, oh, he cooked. Oh, and see, and this is the thing. The corner was doing everything right at first. Nah, I feel something happening. Let me back up. You in great position. Doggone right. Back up. But man, Tyreek sold him on that brisk jog. Fast brisk jog. You could tell he was still moving, but it wasn't Tyreek sprinting. Tyreek sold him on that jog and put his foot down. And that corner said, yeah, I'm making a play today. Oh, I'm telling y'all why I'm animated about this, because I saw the whole thing happening real time, like each element of it, because I was literally in my head saying what everybody needed to do, because I was telling people, man, you got single high and Tyreek outside and he fixing his gloves right now. Man, they might take a shot. I'm literally narrating this to the people around me. They might take a shot right here. And sure enough, right before the play, I was like, nah, because the corner backing up. He backing up early, and he ain't stopping. He's still moving back. Ball hike. Yeah, Tyreek ain't sprinting. Tyreek slow. Bro, Tyreek moving. Oh, yeah, he going. And I ain't even see if Tyreek beat him. I say he's going to beat him. Let me look at Skyler now. Man, the crowd went crazy because it was one of the first real big plays of the day. Matter of fact, it was the first big play of the day. And when I say big play, I ain't talking about the 20-yard crosser that's beautiful. I'm talking about taking that shot deep, executing it on the money, touchdown Dolphins. Touchdown Dolphins. And the crazy thing is, you go to camp last year, you had a lot of that touchdown Dolphin. This year, just the first 2 days, you ain't getting touchdown. I mean, that might be the first time in both days you really got touchdown Dolphin like that. Like that. Last year, man, we had plenty of them. That first day, we had like 3 or 4. So I'm just saying that was pretty dope. So I know that lifted Skylar because that was the whole crowd went crazy. All right. So let's move on. Me putting a little too much emphasis, but we still at 17 for a trash O-line. All right, but good job protecting on that with that unit. Next play, Skylar tries the exact same thing again. This time it was to Berrios, but it was incomplete. He threw it too far this time, and I wrote he think it was Hill because Hill probably would have got it. Same thing, just Berrios didn't stutter step. Berrios was just running the whole way, and Skylar faked over the middle, came back and did it again. But it was like 5 yards too deep in front of Berrios. And I'm like, bro, that ain't Tyreek. That ain't Tyreek. Shout out to the homie, who is this? DJJ with the first donation of the day said, hey, TD, what's good, my boy? Thoughts on Tua's deal? We talked about that a lot, man. It's a good deal for both sides. I'll just put it like that, okay? Good deal on both sides. Man, I need to speed up. I got the huddle at 3. So let me get through some more of this. I'm tripping. I'm forgetting I got to do a show at 3 with the huddle. All right. Next play, Skylar, not a great throw, but a great catch by Julian Hill. Wow, 6 yards. Skylar threw a little quick little 5-6 yard out route. You could tell it was sailing out wide too much. It was going to be incomplete. Julian Hill dove for that thing. Got it. Rolled and came up barking like, yeah, I'm me. You can see him. He was pumped. He was barking. I'm me. And I like that because that tight end room is so filled right now. It's slim pickings. And I thought it was going to be incomplete. I was like, oh, that's a terrible throw. He ain't going, did he get that? Yeah, he got it. So good catch for Julian Hill, bailing the quarterback out because that wasn't a good throw. Like he kind of dove for it. All right, next up, Mike White comes in. He's sacked. He did hesitate a little too long. He got sacked. I ain't putting that on the O-line because he did hesitate. He was in that pocket and just waiting, and it was a sack. All right, so we're still at 17. We ain't go to 18. Next play, Mike White hands off to Jeff Wilson for 2 yards up the middle. Next play, Mike White finds Forrester sitting in the zone for 7 yards. Quick little run, turn around, bam, hit you. Next play, Mike White overthrows Jalen Wright, incomplete. Practice is over. That was it. Man, that was it. And then tdphinstalk went live on Twitter. As you can see him right now, 341 people watching on Twitter as I'm live right now. So they're watching themselves watch me watch myself. Anyway, that sound weird. Anyway, salute to the 800 people in the building right now. Y'all hit that like button. Shout out to the 470 something people on YouTube watching right now. Please, y'all, punch that like button. This is my call to action. If you are new to this channel, subscribe now. We've been growing really fast this week with subscribers, over 200 added over the last few days. So let's get to 500. If you're new, subscribe now because I give all the latest coverage. I'm present to everything. I'm at almost every training camp. Okay. When we go to Tampa Bay Bucks, I'll be at training camp. I mean, I don't miss a beat. So y'all come subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to grow this thing. Let's get to 30,000. That is our next feat. We are literally about 750 people away from 850. I mean, from 30,000, excuse me. 750 people away, and we'll get there within the next weeks. All right. Y'all help out by subbing now. If you're on Twitter, come over to YouTube and subscribe because I'm live more on YouTube. Okay, I do more content, especially exclusive stuff that's coming this year, behind the scenes stuff, and all of that right here on YouTube. Twitter doesn't get that content, but when I live stream, it's usually on Twitter and YouTube. So come through. Shout out to the people that I met today at training camp. I meet new people all the time that sit by me and they don't know who I am, but then they see everybody coming up to me, dapping your boy up and all that stuff. And then they ask who I am, and then I tell them. So shout out to them. A few of them grab their phone, subscribe to the channel today. So welcome to the channel. Nice to meet you all. TD, where do you live? I actually live in Central Florida, but I travel to training camps. I travel. Last year, I went to Houston's training camp in Houston. So wherever we are, I travel. I travel and I figure it out and make it happen. Unless my kids got something that I feel like is more important, I make it happen. All right. But to be quite honest with y'all, a lot of that has to do with the wifey. The wifey hold it down, man. She be at home. She hold it down with the kids. I got 6 kids, by the way. But she hold it down with the kids, and so I can be out here, you know, chasing my dreams and doing what I love to do. So salute to her. All right. Thank you, Pearson, for showing love in the Cash App. Said thanks for all you do. Again, for those who want to support what I do monetarily, just hit your boy up on the Cash App. It's in the description of the video. $ tdphinstalk. All right. It's better than the super chats on YouTube because YouTube takes 60%. Whatever you send, $1, $5, 10, whatever people send, it goes a long way on Cash App instead of it being ate up. Just FYI. All right. So thanks for the love and support. I'm going to get ready for my next show, which is on The Huddle, BetUS TV, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. All right. Breaking down training camp around the NFL, everything that's going to be that's been going on. If you don't know about it, y'all got to come check it out. I am live Monday through Friday with Dan Mitchell and Richie Malura on BetUS TV. We do our show, and it's for 1 hour, and it's pretty dope. It's called The Huddle. All right. For those who have never heard of it, let me just show you the graphic real quick for those who don't know. Oh, well, I put it up there. My bad. It was the wrong one. All right, here it is. The Huddle on BetUS TV, ladies and gentlemen. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. BetUS TV. Go over there. Subscribe to the channel. All right. We're building that show as well. It's taking off, doing amazing things. But again, it's nothing without the support of each and every single one of you guys. So thank you all that support us on a regular basis. Here's today's show. Well, let me get this off the screen. Here's today's show for those who want to come over and support. It's already loaded, literally. Let me see. Let me hit the like button myself. So used to it. All right. So this is BetUS TV. These are all of our shows every day. Picks and predictions. So we cover all of the NFL news. For those who don't know, all of the NFL news. So come check us out. All right. Here are all of our shows right here. Every day, Monday through Friday. And now here we are at episode 112. So come check us out. All right. Without further ado, I'll see y'all later. I love y'all. Appreciate it. No. I'm not done, by the way, because we're going to do another show on this channel. I just wanted to give you the training camp recap, but then I got to talk about what it all means and what I think about what I was seeing today. But I know I'm running out of time because I got the BetUS TV show that I need to attend. So look for me to be going live again. Turn your notifications on. I'll be popping up, going live. All right. So get ready for it. I'm going to be breaking down what I think. We got to talk about this O-line and the issues that we have. We got to talk about how this team looked today and its toughness. We got to talk about this, preserving guys for injury theory that they're working with right now. We also got to talk about the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about. The fact that McDaniel went to Stephen Ross to advocate for Tua. Right in line with what I've been telling y'all all this time and who's really holding it all back. I told y'all we're going to talk about what that means, but I did tell y'all I think Stephen Ross is the one holding this up, and here's why. But when you look at the contract, it shows you all you need to know. Stephen Ross agreed, but if it don't work out, man, we're going to scrap this whole thing, and that's what the contract looks like. This is why I tell y'all, stop thinking that they won't move off after this year if it's a disaster. And we know it's not going to be a disaster, so we don't have anything to worry about, but Mike McDaniel went to bat, so him and Tua just got paid, and I promise you, him and Tua on the hot seat. Him and Tua. It ain't just a Tua thing. It's him and Tua. You went to bat for me to get this man this guaranteed money. All right, I ain't gonna make him play on the 5th year. I ain't giving him crazy, but I'll give him this. And that way, if things don't work out this year, both of y'all might be gone. Just saying. Just saying. All right. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll get into more detail about that later. Okay. Especially if you understand the contract details. Most don't. So they think what I just said is like, what is this guy talking about? He just got signed. You got to go look at the contract details. And if you go look at the details, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about right now. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. They have the out. All right. You was right about the Stephen Ross situation. That's why the contract structured that way. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense now. And I floated it out when I floated it out as a theory of this could be a possibility, but we don't know. But to hear that Mike McDaniel had to talk to Stephen Ross to go to bat locks in that theory. This is the case. It locks it in for me. It locks it in for me. But anyway, let me get out of here. Keep hydrating. Maybe throw me down a snack. And then I got to get ready for the huddle. Love y'all. Thank you. Blessings to every single one of y'all. I'm so appreciative to be able to do this, man. So appreciative. And I'll tell y'all later. All right, man. Love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. I'm out.